30 seconds to a minute to actually deploy the sign, but those 30 seconds to a minute, it's worth it if it's going to mean safety for the responders that are on the scene and the victims.
Once we read the fire chief's general order, gave them the expectations of the train the trainer and the information that was brought forth by the National Fallen Firefighters Foundation and our safety office, the firefighters then seen a proactive approach to utilizing the sign, deploying the sign, and following directions on how to get it done.
So we got a lot of good feedback from the personnel involved because I think they felt they had ownership within the program. You know, we came up with ideas that might not be the best thing for the first unit to drop the sign because they may not know where the incident's at. So maybe using a secondary piece of equipment coming in to set up an additional sign or take the sign off of that pilot piece to lay it out.
And we had each of the shifts fill out survey forms so that we stayed not only current on what we were doing, but changes that would make a safe and effective manner for this sign deployment.
DOT resources. Finally, the Department of Transportation, DOT, can be tapped to respond with additional advance warning resources when the scene duration or requirements demonstrate the need. DOT resources include vehicles and safety patrols, traffic cameras, variable message signs, 511 and traffic radio, media liaison. DOT protective vehicles can act as advance warning vehicles. Many of these are heavy-duty trucks with arrow signs and truck-mounted attenuators, TMAs, that are designed to absorb the energy from vehicle strikes. The Manual on Uniform Traffic Control Devices and the Roadside Design Guide have more information on these types of vehicles and how they are to be deployed. State DOT typically maintains a network of traffic cameras on major highways that can provide not only incident details, but also be used to view the incident before arrival and thus begin to plan the TTC and its advance warning area so resources can be quickly requested and deployed. DOT controls variable message signs permanently installed along major highways in many states. A simple call to the DOT can activate the signs that precede the incident and post an advance warning message to motorists well in advance of the scene. DOT maintains 511 driver information hotlines and traffic radio stations and can broadcast warning messages that alert motorists they are approaching an emergency scene well in advance.
We also have a lot of other tools that we can provide information to dispatch centers or other responders in responding to the scene, such as our detection on the freeway system, how the system's operating, where road work may be, other incidents that are blocking lanes might be, basically to help expedite responses from any responding agency to that incident or any other incident. We also, through some of our law enforcement agencies, have inboard computers or laptops that they can receive information automated from our system as well. A lot of agencies don't realize that these resources are there. The advances in technology have come so fast to allow us to distribute this information relatively easily and to be able to migrate it into agencies' existing systems rather than folks having to use 3 or 4 different systems to perform one task. It can be migrated into their system rather easily. So it's more of just an awareness right now and creating that atmosphere of teamwork and working together to get this information out to the responders as well as the response agencies getting the information to us so we can help get that out as well. There are several incident management programs located throughout the country and actually across the world. Some are more advanced than others. Some have the resources we have, such as patrols, and some don't. There are other transportation facets that do come into play during an incident where it might not just be the incident management program, but that might be your go-through to access other maintenance, Department of Transportation maintenance assets to respond out to the scene, to bring arrow boards, cones, if the incident's going to be long duration, if traffic needs to be rerouted. A lot of departments of transportation do have this equipment available. And basically, really, all you have to do is ask for it and pre-plan in advance how you can work together, how do you get this equipment, and how can you form these working relationships. By taking advantage of the tools we have to alert the motoring public of incidents that are going on the freeway system, we actually realize a lot less delay. We've had several major incidents, for example, along the I-95 corridor. We had a tanker explode one day, of course shutting down both directions of I-95 on a Friday afternoon. Friday afternoon rush hour through that section of roadway is horrendous. For that Friday, we had less than a 3-mile delay in either direction. It was less delay than if the road would have been open and operating normally. The word got out. We relied on surrounding jurisdictions such as Washington, D.C., D.C. Department of Transportation, Virginia Department of Transportation to utilize their devices as well. We also have a network set up among all the states on the East Coast through the I-95 Corridor Coalition to alert trucking companies, long-haul folks, to try and get folks to divert from as far away as possible, thus minimizing some of the impact to the on-time deliveries or to their travels. Rather than sitting in traffic for 3 or 4 hours, they might go an hour out of their way and bypass the whole region. The faster we can get information, the faster we can put up these devices to alert the motoring public that there is an issue out there. So by doing that, we can lessen the delay, lessen the secondary incidents, lessen some of the exposures to the responders of somebody coming up upon an incident scene unexpectedly. So we can really reduce a lot of the danger out there on the highway.
The key to taking advantage of these resources is to develop an ongoing relationship and train the appropriate personnel in what is available from your state DOT, the situations where it can be used, and how to reach out to DOT to request support when an incident happens. During the process of integrating drop signage into their protocols, Montgomery County Fire Rescue Service identified 6 major tasks that are critical to incorporating advanced warning techniques into your jurisdiction's traffic incident response. Develop your SOG on how to deploy the advanced warning techniques in your jurisdiction. Work with and incorporate feedback from all agencies with response mandates, including fire, police, EMS, DOT, and towing and recovery, to create a comprehensive, consistent approach to advance warning and reach agreement on duties and responsibilities for all partners. Allow for flexibility when developing your departmental policy, and allow all personnel to have input. The boots on the ground will be the ones deploying advance warning at a scene, and they must feel that their concerns have been addressed, feedback heard, and suggestions considered in order to have the buy-in that is crucial to compliance with the SOP. Assess your apparatus to determine a safe place to store any new advance warning devices without them shifting during transit or falling out when the compartment is opened. Select advance warning devices that meet MUTCD requirements and fit in the available space on the apparatus. There are a variety of devices available. Take time to find out what will work. Don't be shy about contacting manufacturers and asking questions or requesting changes or improvements that will make devices work the way you need them to. Train all personnel on how, where, and when to safely place the advance warning devices. Practice on typical roadways, different scenarios, and known problem locations. Implement feedback mechanisms for personnel to raise concerns, communicate what is working, and offer ideas on how to improve the policy. Revise your policy to incorporate this feedback. This concludes this ResponderSafety.com module.
All right, now if I remember right, there should be a test here someplace. And we watched that, we watched that, we watched that. Let's go up here and see what this does for us. Okay, so here is the test. I'll scan through it nice and slow. Let me get the mouse out of the way. Now, see, you'll be able to find the video someplace, I'm sure. You can probably go where I just went to get it. I'm almost positive that you can get into it just by using well, you're going to have to set up an account. But I'm sure there's videos online that you don't need to get the account in to see these. If not, I'll do this if you guys want them. But meanwhile, here's the test for the video that we just seen. Okay, if you guys want to take it, feel free. If you don't. Now, the only reason why, well, there's a few reasons why. One is I have to take them, but that doesn't mean you have to. The thing is, the more that every person out there that drives realizes what the other person is doing on the scene, the safer it'll be for both parties. So it's not a bad idea to watch some of these videos. So that's where we're at. Let me shut this down and I'll be back.